Surge in U.S. renewable diesel delivery may not offset loss of petroleum diesel. A flood of U.S. renewable diesel plant life set to come back online inside the subsequent 3 years will no longer be sufficient to offset the lack of petroleum diesel refining capability from plant closings in view that 2019, an analysis of federal information indicates. U.S. refining capacity has declined inside the ultimate years, as vegetation close all through the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic, causing prices to spike. Several plants are being converted to facilities that could produce cleaner burning renewable diesel, but as a minimum for now, those facilities will not fully update those subtle barrels. There are at least 12 renewable diesel tasks worth extra than $9 billion underneath construction, with every other 9 proposed. The 12, along with current plant life, are expected to provide about 135,000 barrels in step with day (BPD) of renewable diesel, with the aid of 2025 in step with EIA records, from around 80,000 BPD now. However, for the reason that 2019, diesel production capacity has dropped by approximately 180,000 BPD general, in keeping with the U.S. Energy Information Administration, and at the least one more U.S. refinery is about to close subsequent year, further decreasing output. In addition, the ones refiners set to produce renewable diesel may even no longer produce gasoline or jet gasoline. Globally, approximately 400,000 BPD of blended diesel, jet gasoline and gas oil capability has been misplaced considering that 2019, according to calculations from EIA data. Renewable diesel is made from animal fat, meals wastes and plant oils but is chemically equivalent to petroleum-based diesel. It can be produced in current refinery system, but the yield are decreased than with diesel. Biodiesel, every other plant-based totally diesel, have to be mixed with petroleum to operate effectively in engines. Growing call for and refinery losses have driven diesel charges to document ranges. The retail fee of U.S. diesel has surged 80% this year to $5.78 a U.S. gallon, and coffee inventories have raised the capacity for shortages. U.S. shares of distillates, inclusive of diesel, are down 19% from a 12 months in the past. About 1 million barrel of oil per day of latest petroleum refining ability is planned within the subsequent 5 years in Asia, the Middle East and at the U.S. Gulf Coast. But experts say startups are hard to expect because of construction delays, modifications in marketplace demand and financing. Biodiesel pivot U.S. refiners joined the renewable fuels bandwagon 2 years ago as the pandemic slashed fuel call for and environmental pressures led numerous to choose decarbonizing over shuttering facilities. Marathon Petroleum NYSE, MPC, 166,000 barrels of oil per day. Martinez, California Refinery and Phillips 66, NYSE, PSX, 120, 200 BPD Rodeo Refinery, also in California, converted to renewable diesel facilities. Combined, they may produce 100,000 barrels of oil per day of renewable diesel with the aid of 2023. HF Sinclair converted a 52,000 BPD Cheyenne, Wyoming, refinery to produce 6,000 barrels of oil per day of renewable diesel. Canada's former Come by Chance refinery ambitions to start producing 18,000 barrels of oil per day of renewable fuels by way of 2024. These initiatives have to bring incremental barrels inside the following few years, but no longer now once they could be greater wished, stated Ravi Ramdas, handling director of power consultancy Peninsula Energy. Renewable fuel profits were bolstered by way of states, led with the aid of California's low-carbon fuel standard, that praise producers with tradable credits for producing renewable fuels. However, the credit are now buying and selling at about $80 in keeping with ton, down from $200 in step with ton in 2020, while the majority of those projects had been proposed. Still, U.S. refiners say they're not backtracking on renewable diesel initiatives. The cost of vegetable oils used to make renewable diesel additionally has shot up following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Soybean oil, a popular refinery feedstock, is up 40% year-over-year, while crude oil is up more than 60% in that point.